Under Armour reported holy shit, Under Armour. So they closed in March. The brand is stagnant then. At this point, because kids are fickle as hell, suddenly you can't give away the Under Armour gear under the best of circumstances. Then you cancel all the spring sports, all the summer sports, and possibly all the fall sports. I have no idea what that company does, but I know they're sitting on a whole bunch of shoes that they've jammed all throughout the channel, and it's going to take roughly infinity years to get rid of the inventory they have. They should have a Viking funeral barge and just load up, maybe a Carnival cruise line, one of the princess boats, and just freaking load up every Under Armour shoe they have and sink the goddamn thing.
You want to know what happened to Under Armour? I can tell you.
Lay it on me.
I'll give you my retail analysis, okay? Under Armour, when it first came out, was like this super hyped, incredible brand. Nobody had ever heard of it. It does these, great things with deflecting sweat and perspiration that nobody else was doing, and it became a fad, and then it became hugely popular, and then athletes all over the place were wearing it, and it really boomed in success and was incredible for, a decade, and then all of a sudden, as popularity starts to wane slightly, they start to expand the channels with which they're selling it. And then, all of a sudden you can buy Under Armour not just from the company in exclusive boutiques, but also at Macy's and also here and there and the other place. And then when that inventory doesn't sell, they fucking put it in a truck and they send it over to Marshall's. And at the same time, they're expanding into golf and cricket and polo and all the sports that they haven't gotten involved in to begin with. And then all of a sudden, you have these kind of middle-aged, amorphous, tubby nerds that shop at Marshall's and Ross that are seeing the Under Armour brand that they remember from 10 years ago, that, some guy that stole their girlfriend and, was getting laid all the time was wearing Under Armour, and he remembers that was cool. And so this, kind of pudgy, amorphous, dorky computer programmer starts buying Under Armour from Marshall's and Ross and pairing that with the Oakley sunglasses from the mid-90s, the sport ones, not the frog skins. I wear those, but the old kind of the kind that you see police officers wear all the time, those out of Blade Runner type sunglasses.
Absolutely. Oh, the blades for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And next thing you know, you got a whole nation of fucking out of shape fat fucks wearing Under Armour clothing and, dad Nikes, those all-white Nikes, and a whole outfit put together by the discount retailers of the world. And the younger generation takes a look at that and they see, this is Under Armour, because I thought this was, Steph Curry draining threes, but he's injured now. And I thought it was Bryce Harper hitting home runs, but he's batting .240. And I gotta fucking look at this guy wearing this shit now. And now nobody wants to buy it. And that's the story of Under Armour.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And at every one of the junctures that you mentioned where they decided that the problem was not that they were losing touch with their core hip consumer, but rather they needed more golf stuff, they just let ego get in the way. And so now you have this enormous kind of sprawling company that they all want to be Nike for good reasons, because Nike is incredibly successful, but Nike's all about discipline. Nike's culture is very much the distance runner type of meticulous. There are no mistakes. There are no accidents. They go about their business. Under Armour's just insane. There is no buyout value there because the culture just kind of runs so deeply ingrained with weirdness. You remember, you've seen the movie Big, where they dance on the piano, Tom Hanks and Robert Loggia?
I have not. But that's okay.
You haven't seen that movie? Oh my God, you need to rent it. It's the most famous toy story in the world. Anyway, the point of the story is it's an enormous store in New York City that Under Armour rented. They were going to make an Under Armour store, and it was going to be better than the Nike store 3 blocks away. They sat on the lease for 2 years and then announced that they're not doing anything with it. They spent scores of millions of dollars renting some of the priciest retail real estate in New York, and they literally didn't open a store. This is not a company that you want to own the stock of. This is not a company where sharp decisions are being made, because at companies where they actually have a clue, someone in the board meeting brings up the fact that you just spent another $50 million renting the store in New York that's locked shut and empty. And that was before COVID. So I have no idea. It's, again, what do you do if you're Macy's? What do you do if you're Kohl's and you're sitting on this Under Armour gear? There's no pull from the consumers. There's no sports seasons happening. So you can't even distribute this stuff out to your high school partners and your college partners. You just have to eat all this inventory.